presented by the Trinity Force podcast. My name is Santana, and along with me is my co-caster, Kargan. Say hi, Kargi.
Hi.
We are brought to you by the Trinity Force podcast, a group of podcasts, actually, that are here to help you get better at League, inform you about League, do all sorts of League things that you might not have even thought of before. Our main show, the Trinity Force podcast, goes live Mondays and Wednesdays, and they talk about anything from patch changes to why certain champions are becoming popular again to just general discussion all around. Our other cast is Forwards, and they're here to help you as well get better about the game. As I get distracted for a moment, sorry. Forwards for those who are just starting out at the game, starting to learn the just general basics, learn things about lane management or warding, things like that. Next up is our LCS podcast, the LCS Rundown, which will cover everything from why CLG suddenly won a split, Fnatic vs. OG, and occasionally regions such as Korea, China, and with all the upcoming Worlds, Wildcard as well. So they'll give you the breakdown on all those stats, statistics, and players. Going around to the other side of the world down under, we have the Oslo podcast talking about the Oceania region for things like our current surprise team of the Wildcard tournament, which was... why did I forget the name of it? Anyway, they talk about things like that for Oceania, and also just all-around League content as well. We also have an interview series done for us. It's called Sheen Procs. They'll interview players, coaches, all those kind of people as well, just to give you a little more insight into the world of League of Legends. We also do on Thursdays now, correct, Kargan? Is it Thursdays for Ballerina?
Yes.
On Thursdays for players gold and under, we have Battle Arena, which is like Bronze Boot Camp, but for players of a little bit higher tier. Just give you a general solo queue feel. We do roughly the same thing. We try to make sure give you guys the best advice we can and help you guys out with your build paths, decisions, all that kind of stuff. We also have if you're into the card games, as one could be, I suppose, Horse Doctor, our resident Masters player and all-around doctor, is going to be starting a Hearthstone podcast, giving you all the tips, tricks, and insights to things like why Hunter is really annoying, and other deck strategies and ideas that you could try and run. If you're not into that, we also have another side of the network, the T-Force RPG. What we do, which is what I'm a part of, is we run all kinds of games. We run D&D, Pathfinder, we have a 40k game going. We have a Call of Cthulhu one-shot coming up. And we do all the pen and paper RPGs, and we try to get that community involved, fostering good game environments, and making sure people can pretend to be wizards when they can't play League of Legends. That's all I have for the plugs, and if we could pop right in, we've got Pickban going for this Game 3.
I rolled a 10, by the way. Does that give me anything good?
A 10? On a what, D20? What are we rolling for?
Yeah, I rolled a D20.
But what are you trying to roll for?
I'm trying to roll for fun.
For fun? Okay, so you're aware of the concept that fun exists, although you haven't really had much in a long time.
Oh.
You think that fun could be by casting this game, but you're really not sure, but you're going to give it a shot the best you can.
Thank you, Dungeon Master Santana Champagne.
You're
wow, this
welcome.
pick went faster than I thought.
Yeah, these picks are just coming in like that. So let's go through the first couple picks here. We have a top lane Volibear, it looks like.
Yep.
Anivia's back for round 2, along with Riven.
Oh.
Blue team went with Diana, Alistar, Skarner, and Sivir, while Purple's going to round out their draft with a Hecarim, Lulu, and Jinx.
Huh.
So things I haven't seen in a while. Hecarim. Looks like it's going to be going out of the jungle here. How do we feel about Hecarim?
I have this weird
Do we feel anything about Hecarim?
Okay.
Is it just a horse?
Okay. I'm just going to say this, and I don't necessarily expect this build, But how scary is it to deal with like a Hecarim like with a fourth item? Let's say, I don't know, Titan. I know I'm loving the Titanic Hydra, but
I was actually thinking Dead Man's Plate.
Dead Man's Plate's okay. I think Hecarim can build better items with armor.
Sure,
like
but I think it'd be cute.
Hurt.
Yeah,
it'd be cute, but like
I think we're gonna see Cinderhulk into probably Frozen Heart. If he gets ahead, you might see a Trinity Force. Probably not likely, especially with their team comp. The thing you have to look at their team comp is you have a top lane Riven, who's also not taking TP. It looks like, but could change. With Riven, Anivia, Jinx, and not a lane Lulu, your team comp isn't that tanky. Whereas you look at blue teams, they're going to brawl, and they're going to brawl hard. You have Volibear, Diana. They're just going to go in and try to blow somebody up. Interesting.
Yeah.
Witch. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it looks like the Riven does take TP, but the Volibear does not take Flash. He instead takes Ignite.
All right. So, when you're dealing with this situation in top lane, there is a distinct summoner advantage. As Hecarim, if you see somebody without a flash in any lane, and this is gonna go for anybody who's like stuck in the jungle. It's like going, oh, somebody didn't take flash. Guess what? You go gank that lane all day long, and you just pound that lane to hell.
Yep.
Volibear doesn't have flash, and Volibear just kind of has this sort of like his meandering thing, which you could just kind of, I don't know, stun him. Like, there's a lot of gank assist top lane, and I think you could pull off some very good plays between both Hecarim and Riven onto Volibear. You have to respect the Ignite. But that being said, Volibear doesn't have escapes if he's shoving too far. So I'd really like to see Hecarim kind of punish that in this game.
I would too. The thing, though, Riven does have to be somewhat careful. She is an early game lane bully, but if she's not careful, Volibear does a surprising amount of damage early on with his bite. So with that Ignite, just be a little wary that if I'm not careful and if I'm fighting in minions, I could just die. But as I was saying before, purple team's got a mix of engage with Hecarim and Lulu ults, but blue team's just going to try and get in your face and fight. They're very much a team fight comp, and a melee one at that. Alistar's can either engage or peel for that Sivir. Sivir's speed boost is going to be huge, especially for this team. Diana does have a gap closer in her ult. Skarner has to run at people, and Volibear has to run at people. That Sivir ult's going to provide a lot of utility there, allowing those melee-based tanks just to be able to get into the front lines, or even dive the back lines and just try to blow up the Jinx and zone out the Anivia. It's going to be really hard to blow up Anivia if she has passive up, like we saw last game. Purple is going to want to try and probably just well, I don't know. What do you think Purple wants to do here for their comp against blue teams?
All right, so blue team's team composition is Operation We Gotta Go, run at their face and hit them with everything. If they can't find Anivia, and like let's say Skarner, Diana, Volibear all jump on, I don't know, let's say Jinx or Riven, Anivia needs to just throw all the damage that she can, and Jinx needs to throw all the damage she can. There's a lot that they need to survive, and there's a lot of pick from blue team. Blue team's 100% pick. They're 100% pick. Their siege isn't as great, and their wave clear is mostly stuck on a Sivir. So I'd make sure ward coverage is 100% like on point. And if you've got any champions that are susceptible to getting like hit, like you've got a Jinx and Anivia, Lulu's ultimates are going to have to be on point. Like there's going to have to be peel. Riven in this game, your job is not going to be the engage tool, but it's going to be the counter engage tool. Yeah. And you need to slow and you need to stop whatever they're trying to pull off.
I think one of the big things for red side here is they actually, for the tools they have very good disengage. You have a Anivia wall if they try to run at you. You have Lulu Q. You also have Jinx traps. So between wall and traps, you can actually, once again, like we saw last game with the Braum and Anivia, you can create these areas of zone control where you can split the team off or just prevent them from even running at you. So if they try to go ham with a Sivir ult and then Skarner's trying to like flash ult somebody, you can just either separate the Skarner from everybody, or just like make sure the engage doesn't even happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think blue team's way clear solely relied on Silver. It depends on what the Diana goes. You're probably not going to see Ludens, but her Q does can clear backline minions pretty well and do a hefty amount to the front line. It's not great wave clear,
right,
but it's still good enough where if Sivir gets chunked out a little bit, they shouldn't lose the entire tower if it's at full. I mean, with Jinx, anything is possible. Jinx is a hyper-scaling late-game carry that can 1v5 if she gets enough support for her. Alright, well, let's see what we got going here. What do you guys say?
I really wish Volibear took Flash, because I think this is going to be a key. I think that's a key summoner spell into this team composition, because like the rolling Thunder into a Flash flip into Skarner Ultimate and Operation Kidnaps a go.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely vital, and without that, he might have some issues finding that. That all being said, blue teams are going to want to play a pick game.
The thing I could see is like Diana going in, Moonfall, everybody gets sucked in. She's Zhonya's. All of a sudden you have an Alistar come in, does his mini Malphite ult, get more CC there while Sivir just destroying everybody, and Skarner separates somebody out, and then Volibear gets in. The thing I would rather see is Volibear get in there first and like start the fight rather than Diana having to go in, burn her Zhonya's early before she really needs to, and then just getting immediately blown up because the rest of the team just couldn't get in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we will find out here. Again, Anivia with barrier, that's fine. Heal could be used too. You don't really take Ignite on Anivia, mainly because you shouldn't be that close to the other carry, unless it's a melee matchup. So I could see taking Ignite, but you're probably not going to get the early carry. Ooh, that was really loud.
Yes, it was.
I didn't do that last game.
That's because it's his League of Dominion with Skarner on the map.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about new Skarner a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about new Skarner a little bit. Skarner had a couple changes. He's now, what is it, the on-demand stun on E, right? On Fracture?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yep.
Yep. Correct. And there's also these control points now.
Which you kind of need. So these control points, any one of your allied champions can stand on it, and it'll capture it for Skarner, which gives them a move speed buff, which is really useful. Additionally, you also get a little bit of gold for it too. So securing those, like as a support, it's like always my favorite thing to do. It's like, oh hey, 15 gold, thank you. But yeah, Skarner wants to fight in those because they are very, very useful for Skarner. They give him a lot of combat stats, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. It doesn't let me click on them, but I'd have to.
Skarner
Read.
passive.
Where's Skarner passive? There's Skarner. Passive. He gave tremendous movement speed, attack speed, and mana regen. So I don't have the patch notes in front of me, but he is very strong on this patch right now.
Yeah.
Anivia again going with her. Oh. She got the stun there, and now Diana's going to be chunked out. She's going to be late to lane if she wants the back.
Yep.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing TP on Diana, because your burst is so strong that you don't need the Ignite extra. There's also nothing you're really trying to cut healing-wise, but TP allows Diana to split push effectively, which she is very good at, with her passive and Q and W. She can clear waves like no other. So TP would have been a good option, especially because Volibear is not exactly the best split pusher to have. But Anivia going for that boot start again. Once again, Flask would be okay. But if you like the movement speed on Anivia, by all means, whatever works for you. Okay. We've got a coin on Lulu.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. I tend to, when I played Lulu a lot, I tend to play her very aggressive. Auto-trading a lot, queuing a lot. Especially in a melee matchup, I could see going Spell Feast. And Sivir, they're both short-ranged, so Lulu can get up there and zone pretty well. Diana taking a lot of damage mid lane. Affected. Here's the thing, you don't jungle a lot, but here's the thing a talking point I like to bring up. How do you feel about junglers doing their first buff and getting Scuttle instead of going straight to their second buff?
I think it's good in a lot of situations. Like, I think if you're starting red side, getting Scuttle Crab is really easy, especially with that Krug buff.
Mm-hmm.
So red side is really useful, being able to hit that. And it lets you regen too, especially with a lot of junglers who are a little less durable.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Rengar, who
Yep.
technically get beat up a lot. If you're super durable though, and like you can take those hits, like let's say Trundle coming out of the jungle, who has a lot of like just regen and is extra damage, you don't necessarily need to take that route. But I think optimizing that route, because you don't necessarily need to hit blue buff right away or red buff on top side all that soon. But
I actually think holding off on your red buff's more important than holding off on your blue buff.
Right.
Because red provides way more utility.
Something that I've been doing with Trundle in particular out of the jungle is once I get red buff, I'll just go and hit bot lane.
Yep.
Especially if they're pushed out in this situation. Like if Skarner had gone Krug's Raptor Scuttle red buff to bot lane, that would have been level 3, and that would have been a pretty powerful gank. Especially when you're dealing with a Lulu Jinx. Like Jinx is pretty gets pretty locked up. Like she has no escapes, and when you've got an Alistar as backup as well, like a good pillar could give Alistar all the time he needs to close that gap and force flashes early on. And Jinx without flash has to play a lane super safe, so and it's something they don't really necessarily expect as a level 3 Trundle. Like, wait, don't you gonna go top? And at that point, I don't mind sacrificing my blue buff if I'm burning flashes that early on in a bot lane.
Riven getting the early shove in, early CS lead.
Ooh.
Oh, Volibear burns Ignite for...
That was optimistic. I'm gonna use that word a lot.
You don't have a jungler there. You have no way to solo that Riven, especially with both her flash up, Doran Shield and a pot. Maybe that's a misclick. I don't know, but usually you'd want to save Ignite if you're going in on an opponent at like 50% and you're sure you're going to go in for that, not at the start. See, like now if you had your Ignite, it'd be way better, but...
No, Riven.
Ooh.
Riven. No. Should have just taken it.
You gotta realize your turret range, yeah. It was good to turn that back around, but you probably should have just back off and tried to zone him off this wave.
Yep.
Hecarim a little late to the party there, because now Voli's gonna TP back, miss maybe 2 minions. And that's gonna... Oh, Jinx almost dead bot lane, still has her heal though.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what happened there.
Just an engage from Sivir Alistar. Like, Lulu's good for poke and good for harass.
No, it looks like Alistar didn't do anything. It looks like they just got poked out a little bit there. Alistar still had all his cooldowns
He's
up.
a big giant cow, though.
He just walked at you.
Scary.
Yeah, Volibear TP's back. Riven's actually... Where did Riven TP to? Or did she go... Oh, she probably went to... Okay. She went to Krug's.
Yeah, I think she went camp start.
Alright, so... We have double longsword into Giant's Belt by Voli. Meanwhile, mid lane... Again with power shots.
Ooh!
The fadeaway auto by Anivia.
Yeah, Battleship Anivia with the final auto attack.
Yeah. Once again, you got to realize where the tower is and not tank 2 tower shots. And not try to all in Anivia under tower, because wall, stun, or R, and her passive, you've got to do a lot in such a short amount of time to not die to tower, that if you're going to try and all in, try and do it in the middle of the lane, where she has to burn flash or something. Where you burned both summoners, and you died to tower, and Anivia passive didn't even get popped.
Yep.
So...
It's... Don't dive towers with Anivia when she has passive up. You have to kill her twice, literally.
Which was... Yeah, it was a first round Anivia. This goes back to pick ban. Maybe Diana's your best champion, maybe not. But realize what you're going up against and change that up a bit. If you can play something like a control mages are pretty good in the Anivia. Because you don't need that pressure there. Oh, Skarner walking up, he's dead. Anivia has such high base damages. Yeah.
Yeah, Skarner, ganking that lane when Anivia's by tower is not going to do any good, especially since you're not level 6.
Yep.
So, like, it's great to visit a lane, try and get kills, but you have to understand like where your kill potential lies. This could be a big fight here.
Volley ults top lane. He's gonna try and all in this Riven.
Yep.
Yep. Volibear does a ton of damage.
Just got stack health. Titanic Hydra on Volibear Rush. Let's see how that plays out.
Is it Titanic? Or is it just going to be...
I think with Giant's Belt, he could go Titanic. He could go with something else altogether. But
Yeah.
I mean, Giant's Belt does build into Titanic.
I don't think he needs Titanic here. I think he just be a frontline tank.
Like-
Soak all that damage.
Okay, well, in terms of like one damage items, I love Titanic Hydra because Volibear can build that and then into whatever he wants.
True. That's fair. He's getting... Is that Titanic?
Yep,
path?
he's going Titanic
Okay.
Hydra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because it's pickaxe, longsword, and double things for Tiamat.
Tiamat, Giant's Belt,
Anivia with the damage. Oh, so much damage.
Bip. Yeah, but
She's got blue buff though. It's not a big deal.
yeah.
She can waste that. Looking at the CS across the board, Anivia's got a lead here. Riven's got a lead, but she's died twice to this Volibear. Okay.
There you go.
Good ult, but you gotta pull her out. And yeah, she saw a flash.
And
now you're... Yep.
should have kept running the other way. Oh, that's
Okay, you can't kill her.
Stop
She has
committing.
passive.
stop committing it. That
Yeah.
just go the other way. If you didn't get the kill, Diana, you should just kept running into jungle. You
Yeah.
don't have to go right back into lane.
You
Use the
can go
entire map.
around. You're probably gonna have to back there. Well, yeah. So
Mhm.
just be aware of your surroundings, and that Anivia Q is probably back up again. And if it hits you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna lead to they're trying to call Dragon, but Sivir and Alistar are kind of cutting them off here.
Ooh.
Oh,
There you
good.
go. Press R for big health.
Oh wait, she R'd the wrong person.
Did she though? That's a big
Maybe
thing.
not. Volibear's mid lane gets double stunned,
Okay.
and Nivea still has passive. Oh, Riven, don't do it.
Volibear
Alright.
passive.
Yeah, Volibear passive.
Oh man, the passives of Second Life. Oh, here comes.
Oh,
Good
oh,
ult, but
that was a good timing to make sure the Alistar didn't.
Oh.
Ooh, Rocket just missed. Good mechanics there, getting the R right as spell shield ends, and to dodge the Alistar
Yeah.
knockback. Ooh, Anivia keeps just landing these stuns one after another.
Yeah, Diana, I would highly recommend like getting a couple friends and like something anyone can practice too is you kind of are walking in a very
Predictable
specific-
pattern.
Yeah, very predictable. Like you're running pretty binary. You're running on one dimension. You've got two to work with. I would use both of them. Try left to right action as opposed to like just forward back. That'll help you dodge out a lot of those skill shots.
Yeah.
The more erratic you become, the less predictable you'll be.
Oh, yeah, and now this Anivia is just...
Bullying.
Yeah. The other thing I see, you got Aether Wisp. I don't, especially now that you're behind in this matchup, I don't think getting Lichbane... Could be Lichbane, it could be Ludens. I don't think either of those would be good here. You'd probably just want to get Abyssal.
Yeah.
One, you're getting chunked out a lot by this Anivia magic damage, so that'll help you stay in lane a little bit longer. There's a null magic coming in. But Abyssal is definitely really good on Diana, as you're going to be in melee range anyway. And also provides your team a little bit of magic reduction, too. Riven with the Brutalizer. Got a little bit of damage. Volibear ults again, and Riven has to flash top
Yeah.
lane. Alright. Gets a little bit of damage there, but Volibear can still kill you, so just be a little bit cautious there.
Yeah,
Pop
that
your
bite's
pot, sit
gonna
at your
do a
tower.
lot.
Yeah. He's also a level up on you, so he has stat advantage too. So just be cognizant of that. Volibear needs to be careful though. Oh. Got it still. Oh, passive. Yep.
Don't do
Don't.
it. Don't
yeah.
do it.
What actually happened there was they didn't chain their CCs correctly. Riven got
Yeah.
the stun, but Hecarim immediately ulted. So whatever fear that was there, if it hit, didn't really
Do anything? Yeah.
didn't help keep that volley down. Just be aware, if a CC's layered, wait. Not until it's over per se, but wait long enough where you're gonna get the maximum potential, and Anivia hits another stun there. Ugh. That lane is not going well for the Diana.
No.
2-level disadvantage and tower is almost gone. Skarner's here for a gank.
Diana
Passive is still down, but...
I start chugging pots now, Diana.
Oh. Got him, but... Oh, DC. Oh my goodness, this Anivia. Pause because of DC on the Jinx.
Yeah, I would have waited till after the fight, but...
I don't think they noticed, though.
I'm pretty sure Anivia noticed.
Anivia noticed.
She's like, oh god! Like she's flying away.
So... Yeah, what happened there, they fought on Anivia R.
Yep. I think I was talking about it earlier, where if like there's a lot of blue team has to jump on somebody, and Anivia R is going to be really important.
Mm-hmm. Skarner probably shouldn't have attempted to try and gank the Anivia there. That's going to be a kill. Holding that knight till the end. So it's a 1-for-1, not the worst thing in the world, but you got to notice if your mid laner has 0 HP. Probably not the best idea to the gank at that point. Pretty close bot lane. Yeah. Oh, you're not in a good spot at this point. Bot lane should try and move up.
Oh,
the outplay. The outplay.
Nope.
No. She has shield. No, she's okay.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
She would have popped the second shield. I was about to say if Diana kept walking towards bot. Oh, when did Riven get that tower?
Probably when Volibear got chunked out.
I don't think Volibear has to TP there. He actually just TP'd on a minion. That's going to increase his cooldown by a lot.
Yeah.
You already lost your tower. You're going to get nothing of that. In fact, what you could have done is let Riven push those minions in and just freeze it. Because now Riven's got a long lane to work with. Her flash is down for another 100, or what was that? Like 2.5 minutes. So you could just zone her out of XP. You already have a level advantage. You could even push that further by freezing that lane by your tower.
Yeah, and then when an opportunity presents itself, like teleport bot lane with Sivir and just go get Jinx.
Exactly. Riven's calling for a gank here. But now Volley has to work with the long lane too.
Mm-hmm.
With no flash, that Hecarim should definitely be topside.
Yep.
Good job clearing the wards. That's like the third time I've seen them clear that pink in that bush. If you see that happen a lot, put your pink somewhere else.
Yep.
But that means they're completely aware that is a spot. They're going to start this dragon. They know Volibear doesn't have TP here. So
Hecarim does, though.
Yes, but that would only be a 5v4. Oh yeah, I know, yeah. It'd be a 4v4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here comes the TP. Because they have double TP here. Riven gets the stun off. Yeah, a lot of fighting. Except 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good Anivia R. And
very good clutch. Very big. Yeah. I would like to see that TP a little bit sooner from these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But good
they
idea.
They can dive this.
No, I wouldn't dive it all-star.
Maybe. Hecarim wasn't on the same page there. I think they're just going to push the minion wave up. Okay. That was an interesting path. You could have just walked around.
Yeah, take the long way.
Yeah, just take the long way. Don't take those 3 tower shots. I mean, Alistar's dead here. You don't...
Is he, though?
Yeah, Jinx is behind him. She DC'd again. JK.
Aww.
Oh, now Alistar might just try to kill. Just...
Yeah.
Oh, headbutted into the Volibear.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, tumble time.
They waited a round.
Rolling Thunder.
Too long.
Flip. Bam. Good job.
Yep.
Good headbutt.
So if you're gonna commit to that, you have to go before the rest of the team can respond. Because now you just gave up 2 kills.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate that Jinx DC'd there, but
yeah,
if you're gonna dive, you have to be on the same page there and just. Hecarim has to see Riven's walking there. Alistar has no ult up. Probably a good idea just to kill him right now.
I'm gonna roll and see if I'm hungry.
What do you got?
18. Yeah, I'm really hungry.
18. So
with my hunger modifier.
Your hunger modifier? Probably like a 3. So I'll give you a 21 on that. So You are so hungry right now that your stomach is actually turning in on itself, and the desire for food has become so great that you are eyeing the paper to your right.
You're not wrong. All right, so Dragon's down. Teleports are down. We are back to sort of the...
about a 1k gold lead for red, 1.5. Blue can even that up with a tower and a little bit more CS. Not... Oh, no. Anivia pushes that.
Oh.
Ooh.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Nah, you're not making it out of that
Yeah,
one.
Diana's passive does so much damage.
Oh, and then the bite.
Yeah. Realize your flash ranges. You probably weren't going to make that. If you make that wall, you can probably get the tower, but they can catch up to you between Diana, R, and Volibear running at you. I don't know if flashing there is correct, regardless, so... Because Volibear had red buff applied to you as well. Probably just best to save that flash. It's really important on Anivia.
I think what
Especially
you're trying to say is they're
down.
screwed 3 ways to Sunday.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, Riven top lane just pushing this lane in. Don't have... Okay. Volibear just... like a ninja, but Diana's right there too.
Yep, she's out.
Diana has... Does she have blue buff right now? No. So, she's a little bit low on the mana side. Probably doesn't want to pick a fight with the Riven.
Yeah.
Volibear still hasn't completed his Titanic.
He's got the farm to do so, right? He's got 2,100 gold.
Oh, what was that flash?
She was afraid of blue buff. It scared her. She's like, no.
Hecarim's at 100 HP. You have maybe like 250 mana at that point. Not enough to kill him. You don't have Ignite up. Probably no reason to flash there. Maybe you fat-fingered it. Don't know.
Yeah.
That does happen to the best of us.
Oh, yeah. Happens to me all the time.
Oh, Alistar.
My favorite is like the first camp I'm hitting as a jungler, and it's just like before it's like I flash,
That was an aggressive ult bot lane. You were tanking tower there.
Riven's in trouble.
Yeah, Hecarim was almost in trouble too.
Ooh.
Oh, she got the stun on her tower. Yep, gonna get
Just
one.
kidding.
Oh, almost got the outplay.
Nope. That's an official out. Nope, she's alive.
Well, she's alive. If she flashed her Q correctly, she could have killed the volley there.
Nah.
She should get away.
I'll take survival.
Yeah, she gets one. They get bot tower. Sivir has to pop ult to not die. Another missed rocket. That's okay. Trade it for top lane. Everybody's low bot side. Push that wave up, heal.
Volibear, go spend your money, dude.
Red team's doing a really good job warding. They're getting some deeper wards. They have the blue buff warded. They have that ward by Wolf Camp. And they've got one at the top of their red buff. So they're getting some deeper wards in there, getting some vision. Keep an eye on this Skarner. Do they take that? Nope. Anivia's just gonna back. Blue team, their vision doesn't... They don't have any vision past river. And barely past their own jungle unless their minions are up. So right now what I would advise to do, especially as an Alistar, maybe walk with your Skarner, try and get a ward up farther. Try and get that banana bush by blue warded, maybe one in that other bush right past the tower, that one on the top of their red buff. Just get a little bit more vision on key entry points so you can keep an eye on the Hecarim.
Yeah.
Because Hecarim also, like Zac in our first game, he's got a pretty good long-range engage with his ult. And his, like, horse clippity-cloppity speed. So, being able to see where he's coming from before he gets to your lane is important. Because if he's in your lane, you're already dead, most likely. Just because of how fast he gets to move. Yeah, there you go. Alistar walking up, getting some wards there. They're getting set up for this dragon. I like it. Now they're getting their vision down. No one has a pink set over here. Hecarim's fighting the Skarner. Ult. Riven solos out the Sivir. Okay. What happened there? Volibear's top.
Yep.
TP's way late.
To mid lane.
The team was split there. Skarner got caught out a little bit. Tried to run back. Blue team collapsed. and Riven got to isolate Sivir. Sivir died before she could ult or do damage.
Right.
So now they're giving up a dragon here. Which they were setting up correctly for. They got their deep wards in. They were getting all around it, but Volibear wasn't there, and then Skarner wasn't there either. So evens up the dragon count at 1 apiece.
A lot of that too is like they were standing in Anivia ultimate, and that's doing a lot of damage now. Like Anivia's got Rogue completed, and she's almost at her separates.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Titanic done on Volibear. The big thing is he has the most gold on his team. He should probably be down there. I understand you have TP, but when you got caught out like that, you should probably just group. It'll save you the time and effort. Then he used his TP mid lane for no reason after the fight was already lost. Yep. So once you see the fight was already lost, just go ahead and keep that TP. Don't worry about, oh, I should TP in now. Especially mid lane turret, you're too far away from dragons to contribute anything there. Just go ahead, keep pushing that up. You've committed to that, just keep committing to it. And it looks like he's building another damage item.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm going to assume he's going to be getting the MR80 item.
What? Oh,
Hextrinket.
Diana. Yeah. Oh, Maw.
I'm thinking he's going into Hextrinket. That's my guess. He realizes that.
Oh, big fight mid lane.
Oh, that volley damage.
Oh, yeah. Anivia walks back in. She has passive.
Yeah.
Riven comes in.
Yeah, that's good volley damage so far. I would have liked after the pickaxe to go just more defensive. Because like you're doing a lot of damage to Titanic Hydra already. You don't necessarily need to stack anything more than that. Just stack health.
Yeah.
That works with the passive. That means you're going to be in fights forever. I would have gone after Titanic Hydra to Righteous Glory, honestly.
Probably, get that move speed in there. It'll help your team get in there. Especially
Spirit Visage.
Yeah. Spirit Visage would also be good.
Okay, those don't stack. Tiamats don't stack. Don't do that.
Yeah. Alright, so that's something.
No, they
don't.
Okay.
It's a unique passive.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, Cleave is unique. Oh, Diana goes in, blows up the Jinx, gonna get out too.
Good job.
I mean, Diana's got her Abyssal now, so it looks like she just got the early Aether Wisp for the move speed in lane against Anivia. Okay, fine. Just get boots, though, if you're gonna do that. You should not clear this pink.
In fact, the second Tiamat's actually overriding the Titanic Hydra.
Is it?
I think so. I'm gonna watch Volibear to verify. While Sivir's getting chased down. Oh, right, just keep running, just keep running, just keep running.
Yeah, your Alistar Zed, don't bother chasing that. What happened there was Diana saw pink, tried to clear it, but you didn't have vision. By the time she put the ward, Hecarim was already there. Lulu flashed over, gone slow. If you see a pink, just keep a note of it. You don't have to clear it right then, especially if you're just like sub 25 HP. Jinx DCs again. But if we rewind a couple of minutes, we saw that fight mid lane. You saw what blue team's team fight could look like if Diana pushes Anivia out of the fight. She's at 10% HP. Then they get a Skarner catch. Then they get Volibear in there. Then they get an Alistar knock up. There's a lot of wombo potential there.
Yeah. A lot of strong pick. They just need to coordinate it.
Yeah, Anivia, good wall. The thing about Diana is Diana can go over wall. Which is what we saw in the mid lane when they caught her. They're caught out by themselves. They're too far up at this point.
Yep.
Know where your team is. If you're 2 and you have nobody else there. That Hecarim just got CC'd 6 ways of Sunday.
Yup.
Riven gets a 2-man stun in. Good job. And a 2-man knockup as well.
Yeah, good fight.
And an Anivia stun. Good job. Really good layering of that. Alright. So what happened in that fight? Volley and Skarner tried to make a pick on the Anivia who didn't have passive up, which is correct to do, but realize you have no vision on that side of the map at all besides that one ward by blue buff. So you can't commit overly hard, especially when you just got collapsed on like that. And that's what happened. They got collapsed on. Blue team kind of CC'd it out a little bit, but then red just kind of ran him down, picked up a couple kills, and now they're just gonna go back to farming. It looks like.
Dragon's gonna be up in a minute.
Yeah, so they're gonna red should back right now, heal, get their mana back up, make any buys they need to, and get some pinks down. They've got 2 on theirs. Whose pinks are those? We've got Anivia's pink on red and Lulu's pink on blue. So for sure, Hecarim, he went, got back, got a pink ward. Riven should get a pink ward as well. There should probably be a pink ward in this pit to set up with, and then maybe a pink in this banana bush by blue. That'll give you a lot more. Not only will it give you vision, it'll also give you the ability. Oh, catch on Skarner.
Nope.
It'll also give you the vision denial around Dragon. Skarner, you can't face check that. You have no vision. We've been harping about this all 3 games today. Oh, Jinx gets caught out. Vision is king.
Oh, good. Stop by Riven.
Yeah,
right in the
stun
ultimate. Perfect. Yep. That's exactly what you wanted to do as Riven. We're talking about that in Champ Select.
Oh, Lulu took the Quadra. Okay, it's just a free dragon.
That's the exact fight that you guys are looking for. Just lock them up in Anivia Ultimate and do everything you need to do.
Yeah.
So good job there.
Yeah, good job. Good. Blue team, you have to realize when you're in a clustered quarter like that, you really shouldn't be fighting. You got the pick on Jinx. That was good. After that, get out. Because in that tight little space, Anivia Ultimate's going to do so much. And Riven stun on that many people in the Anivia ult that anything less than an ace would have been surprising.
Yep. So Volibear's still Tiamat, which smart. You figured it out. You're like, oh no, those don't stack. Just build tanky. Volibear, like you build Titanic Hydra, you just build pure tank. You go Spirit Visage, Randuin's Omen, or Dead Man's Plate, doesn't matter. And then, like Righteous Glory, you just become the huge mobile monster that you need to be. Like, Trinity Force, yeah, sure, you're doing more damage, but with Titanic Hydra, you want to kind of synergize and stack its passive effect. Because it does more damage based off the amount of health you have. Which, if you're charging it as Volibear and you go swipe, Titanic Cleave, Bite, something's dead. Yeah. I really don't care. I don't care. If you're on a carry, they're dead.
The thing about Trinity Force 2, the way I look at Trinity Force is it's usually a first item.
Yes.
And if you're building that, that gives you a huge power spike that you need to abuse right then. A later Trinity Force, sure, it'll do more damage, but it's not gonna do as much as Diana gets caught out here.
Press R for max damage.
Oh, and
good sidestep.
Yeah, good sidestep. There you go.
That's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah. Jinx has missed a lot of rockets this game, though. So that's something to work on, is your skill shot placement.
I would try using W before R next time.
Yeah.
Slow him and then execute him.
Talisman popped by Lulu. Riven goes in, gets CC'd. Oh boy.
Clustered up again.
This is what we were talking about the clustered quarter fighting.
Yeah.
Hecarim's also very good at that too.
Yeah, the red team likes to fight in close pits. Because blue team wants mobility. They've got movement. Wow.
You can probably just let the volley go.
No, they're hurting the Volibear. Alright, go get Baron.
They can push a tower and then get Baron. Or they can be indecisive.
Why not both?
Make a call. Like if all your team's going Baron, just go Baron. If all your team's going to that turret, get turret.
Yep.
They're fine here because Hecarim's really big. He can tank this out. And the death timers are getting to a point where they're long enough where they can kind of get away with that indecisiveness, but get their cake and eat it too.
Hooray.
So this game was pretty close until we saw 2 bad team fights by blue side or 2 really good engages by red side in those tight spaces for Anivia, Hecarim, and Riven just to CC damage everyone. So blue, the best thing we could say to that, realize that, try to avoid it. Now you've got to play super passive. Start warding up a little bit more again because Hecarim. Yep. Okay. You didn't have vision of it. Don't walk there. Sure, trying to steal blue's nice. Not worth losing a Baron buff off yourself, and now you're delaying the pressure you could have applied with Baron buff by just grouping and pushing a tower.
Best case scenario, like you steal blue buff and then you burn a bunch of summoners to try and get out or ultimate. Like blue buff's not that important to where you need to teleport on it. You don't have a team there. Like
who are you denying blue buff from in this case? Diana? Diana's costs aren't that bad once she gets to a higher level. And like Skarner doesn't exactly need blue buff. It's nice. Oh, Riven ults mid lane.
She gets that.
Yeah, I mean, you only got one spell shield. 2? Yep. Riven is really, really large.
Yep. Well.
A little too far, though. I don't know if you want to proxy that there.
Well. Wow.
Oh, especially into another tower. I mean, she's drawing so much time right now for them to just crush mid lane.
Yup.
Like, at that point, just let the Riven go.
Wow.
Oh. And that, they might be able to close it out from here.
Yeah, Volley is still on the chase.
He's going hard in the paint.
What? Volibear kind of...
Did Anivia or did Riven just turn that?
He disappeared.
Yeah. She's got Black Cleaver, Ravenous, and Last Whisper. That was a poor TP. He's gonna live, but still.
Yeah, they're that far ahead at this point. But wow.
I mean, she's got 14k at 33 minutes. She's sitting on 2.5 right now.
Volibear kind of died because Riven's got Last Whisper and Black Cleaver and...
Now a GA.
Well, Volibear has no armor. He's got ninja.
Volibear has no tank stats.
Yep.
He's got not a lot. He's got a little bit of flat HP.
Yeah. Not that durable. Like I said, like if Titanic Hydra is great on Volibear because Volibear wants to stack health to do damage. I'm gonna say this again because you are listening because you switched out that Tiamat. Titanic Hydra scales off damage. Volibear's bite scales off of Titanic Hydra scales off of health.
Yep.
Your bite scales off of health. Your passive scales off of health. Stack all of the health.
So what should have been probably a better build path instead of getting that Trinity Force, probably get a Spirit Visage. You see that Anivia is getting a lot of kills. You don't even have to finish it right away. Just go ahead and get your Spectre's Cowl and like a Warden's Mail. You'll see this a lot in let's bring this up in professional play. You'll see a lot of that splitting before they finish an item, just so they have defensive stats on both sides. As Riven catches out the Diana, dead. They'll split up their defensive stats. That way they can tank for their team even if they don't have their items completed.
Right. Yeah. A good Volibear build, just to kind of just think about like just general items. Spirit Visage is good. I would almost recommend a Frozen Heart over like a Randuin's. I think
the extra mana is nice. The extra cooldown's nice. You're not getting that in your build normally.
I would like to see Warmogs. I think new Warmogs is actually really good.
I think you'd have to wait on Warmogs until you have some defensive stats, though.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about like third or I'm talking about like fourth item.
Just gonna end the game here.
I think they got this.
Yeah. It's just they're worrying about kills. God, that Riven is...
Gone full Riven?
See, the thing this is a complete side note. The thing I would have liked to see with the arcade skin for Riven is that if she had GA and after it pops, it should have like continue question mark. That would have been cool. But, gonna close out the game here. Another decisive victory for red side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did it, boys.
We did it. All right, let's get to this match history.
All right. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Ta-da! I think I did it. I did it, boys. I didn't break it this time like last time. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some quick statistics. Let's look at ward coverage.
Ward coverage. We've got Alistar with 20, Lulu with 35. She was on point that game.
Ward everything.
Mid lanes are even at 16. Anivia purchased more visions, but no vision. Okay, so no ward purchases from the Riven. That's got to change. You snowballed and you were using your trinket, but you've got to get a pink ward. You've got to get greens. Trinket only does so much, and it's only up so often. So just layering that coverage as you push up further and you step ward, you'll make sure that you're pressing your lead really well.
Yep.
Jinx, you can at some point get a pink. Greens are a lot harder for AD carries because they are so item dependent. More so than any other lane, really. So if you don't get a ton of greens, that's fine. But make sure you can at least get a pink down somewhere.
Yep.
Same with Sivir, just get one eventually. Might not be till 20 minutes, but you get it down somewhere.
All right. Let's go and run down these player builds real quick, and let's get this rocked and rolling over with so I can eat and sleep.
Agreed, but without the sleep. We talked at length about Volleyballers build. We liked that you got Titanic Hydra. That was great. We agreed with it 100%. Trinity Force was probably pushing it a little much. You did get an early lead. That's great. Just become an immense front line for your team.
What should have happened once Titanic Hydra was done with you
Mm-hmm.
should have just gone straight into an armor item, whether it be Randuin's, whether it be Dead Man's Plate, whether it be Frozen Heart. You just build armor and health, and just keep stacking that health, because Volibear's whole kit centers around health, and then like using that bite as an execute. So you got to think about it in this sense. You're Volibear, right? You're rolling Thunder in. You flip a target. You auto attack, bite that, or use Titanic Hydra in that. So you're shredding 10% of your maximum health off that target, and then you bite for that execute. That is a huge chunk of damage that you weren't able to really pull off because your build kind of, you want to do more damage-centric build. You need to stack sort of health and resistances to really be a big, mean Volibear. So ideally, like for your team composition, how they were built, since you had a Sivir, didn't necessarily need a Righteous Glory, would have been useful here. Once Titanic Hydra's done, build that RMI, build Spirit Visage. I would have said 4th item Warmogs, and just become unstoppable. Just be a raid boss.
Yep. We won't spend too much more time on that though, because we talked at length. Go back and watch the VOD. You'll see it. Diana, I love playing Diana. You shouldn't have got the Aether Wisp. I understand the logic behind it for the move speed and stuff. Just go ahead and get that Null Magic and Negatron early. Get your Abyssal done early. I also don't like second item Lichbane on Diana. For what was happening with your teams, you definitely would have wanted Zhonya's. Zhonya's would allow you to go in and do your combo, space out for 2.5 seconds, come back in when your cooldowns are back up, and allow your team to catch up to you. Because what was happening was you were getting in there, but Anivia could just wall off the rest of your team. You can go over walls, the rest of your team can't. So I would like to see a Zhonya's. You upgraded your trinket, good job, like that. Sork boots are always fine on Diana. You don't really see CDRs too much. What I got for her, pretty standard Alistar build, you'd say.
I guess on touching on Diana a little bit in lane, you were getting beat up a lot by Anivia just because she was landing stuns and following that up with that nice little crit.
Right.
Got to sidestep. You got to be a little bit more erratic in your movements. And you have to kind of play that lane and just play safe till 6 and play smart. Like sometimes you might have to give up CS to do so, but unfortunately, Anivia had your number. Like she threw a stun in and you just got hit by it. You got to step left or right of the spell as opposed to trying to run away from it. It's a slow moving spell, but it'll still hit you. So try and move left and right next time.
Yep.
That will help you out a lot in lane.
Yeah, but it's just getting used to playing a melee into a range character. Know your limits, know what you can do, what you can't do. Get used to losing a couple CS early, like Kargan said. And it's more important to soak that XP early as Diana than to make sure you're 100% even with the Anivia in CS. Because if she just chunks you out, sure, you're even now, but now you're down in XP. And XP's... A level up is worth a lot in just raw stats, which is translate to gold value as well. So just keep up with that. Skarner.
No, we didn't talk about Alistar, though.
Oh, right. I forgot we skipped that.
Yeah.
Alistar.
Alistar, you had a tall order. Unfortunately, your team kind of fell behind early, and the best thing you could do in a situation like this is just defensive ward coverage, and just become a peel bot for Sivir. You have a lot of engage on your team composition, so at that point, you don't have to be making plays, and you can just disengage. Riven has a few ways in, but if you're able to kind of knock her out and just lock her up and give Sivir time to react, that offers a lot more for your team. Because you've got a team that's all in. Like, you've got Diana, Volibear, Skarner. You don't have to join in on the fun. You can just peel for Sivir, because Sivir's going to be the person who's doing consistent damage later on. So I would look towards, like, in games like this, try and be a bigger peel bot for Sivir, which is hard to do in this situation, but it's got to get done. And you've got the best kid to do so.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add on to that. Yeah, that's about all we had for Alistar, I think. Skarner. Scar. You also went Titanic Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, yeah. So you got your jungle item. Cleared that early. Mercs. Mercs are necessary against that comp. Especially as a jungler. You don't have tenacity on Cinder Hulk. That hasn't been around for a while, so you need that extra, especially into Anivia, Riven, Lulu, Hecarim, Jinx. Everybody has a form of CC there that's necessary to get rid of. Good call on that. Titanic Hydra. Yes. I'm not 100% sold on that on Skarner. I would have liked to see something like an Iceborne, maybe. Because the problem with Skarner has and always will be, he gets kited out. So if you get in there, having that Iceborne lets you close that distance. But really, yeah, that's preference on my part, I think.
Something I'm noticing in these builds is we've got Alistar who's going into Frozen Heart. We have a Skarner who's going into most likely Dead Man's Plate. Nobody's building any sort of MR. No Aegis is being built on this team.
Yep.
You got to know, if Anivia 7219, you have to have some MR. Like, that was what was completely destroying your guys' day, was all of that damage from Anivia. Like, if I were to roll back, I would be willing to bet that Anivia probably did more damage overall. Let's see. Let's look at statistics.
Agreed.
Actually, it looks like Riven did more because she kind of just took off at a certain point.
Well, yeah.
But 32.3 as opposed to 41, that's... Anivia was doing a ton of damage, and Aegis would have mitigated that across your entire team. So that would have been a nice item to see early on, and that's something you can communicate too. If Alistar's building Frozen Heart, Skarner, go straight into a lock it. Just get it.
Get it.
You gotta get it. It's an item that's still synergized with Titanic Hydra, because I don't mind it as a second item. It helps with your clear, helps you get around on the map, and then you can kind of build into other items that kind of close gaps and stuff like that. But you have to kind of itemize for the biggest threat, and Anivia during that mid game was the biggest threat until Riven got more fed somehow.
And then Sivir. Standard Sivir build. Got a Shiv. Notice you didn't have the wave clear. Good on you for that. It's really hard to play Sivir when you're getting jumped on by Riven, Hecarim, and just getting chunked up by Anivia. Try to be more aware of your positioning. It's tough to ask, especially when you spell shield 1 CC and then 3 more come at you and you're instantly dead. Try to be with your team. You're kind of split off with Alistar most of the time. That led to some weird splits in the team comp where half your team would get picked and the other half was not there. Because you're a Sivir comp. You run at people. You hit R, you run at people. Or you run away from people, depending on how the game's going. Just keep that in mind. That I don't have too much else for that either. Nice job keeping up your CS when you guys were getting pretty well stomped in.
Yeah, I'd say for like third item, probably go Last Whisper. A lot of people are starting to build up armor at that point in time. Last Whisper, because like Bloodthirster's fine, but you're not going to be getting a whole lot of benefits from Bloodthirster with Hecarim, Hecarim, and Riven kind of just jumping on your face and saying, "Yeah, you know that's cool and all, but you're dead." So I would have said probably Last Whisper into QSS to stop any sort of incremental CC that would blow you up, so you can pop that and go on the hunt a lot quicker. But I would have liked to see Last Whisper next because armor was starting to get accumulated.
Same Anivia from last game, same build from last game. Not much else really needed to change this game. You got your tier early, stacking that tier up. Good job pressuring the lane, forcing Diana out of it, chunking her pretty well, landing a majority of your stuns, even in other team fights outside of lane. You were doing a really good job with that. Home guards again. Sure, if you got the extra gold, I guess you can get home guards to get back to lane faster. Let me see when you bought those. It was a 23-minute purchase. Yeah. I mean, the thing about home guards is Hecarim gets a lot out of them just because he can TP in. Also, he moves naturally that fast anyway, helps him get to farming better. As a mid laner, it's not necessarily that early, but I'm not going to harp on that. Upgraded Sweeper, and you were purchasing a lot of wards too. You kept up your ward coverage. You bought multiple pinks, and it looks like you're trying to get wards on every back if you couldn't. Riven, you played your lane poorly early. No way to delicately put that.
You got first blooded.
Because you took 2 tower shots in the turret.
You dove in a tower, like know when to be greedy and know when to like. Oh, hey, he's got a back. Cool.
Yeah.
Lane's mine. I'll put this pretty simply. If you're forcing them the back really early on, you've pretty much owned the lane. You don't need to keep pushing your luck on that at that point. Once you get like that early back and you've got the level advantage, you're good to go. Then level 6, then you can turn around and do that all in again.
Yep.
If you were doing that at level 6 and you had an ultimate to back up all that damage and you were able to finish off Volibear as he ran away, whole nother story. But you were trying to do some level 2 cheese, and unfortunately the tower said, no. And you ended up giving up first blood pretty easily, so don't try and get too aggressive.
Yeah. You did well later on getting multiple man stuns, multiple man knockups. That outplay top lane on the 2v1 when Skarner and Volley tried to dive you and you killed the Skarner and got out of it.
Yes.
That was well played. Just realize, I'm an early game champion. I can kill really early. But I don't have to go ham 100% of the time. You can sit and farm lane. Just your presence in lane, you can just play up on the minions in zone.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? We got Hecarim. And he did what I wanted to see out of him. He got an Iceborne. I like seeing Iceborne on jungle Hecarim. It gives you tankier stats and lets you stay on top of people.
Mm-hmm.
Boots of Swiftness. I don't know how I feel about Swiftness against that team.
I'm not in hate with it. Merc Treads wouldn't have been all that great, considering their hard CC is in the form of I would say Skarner stun.
Skarner.
Yeah, like Alistar's got a knock up, and like he has a stun at the end of that. So like Merc Treads has very limited use out of it. Mobility boots, you probably could have gone and been a cheaper alternative.
I probably would have liked to see Mobies. They don't really have too many slows. They have Skarner slow. Okay, they have a few slows. They have Diana and Skarner, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in hate with Swiftness. Swiftness, I think, is fine.
Late Spirit Visage, that's also good. I like Spirit Visage on Hecarim. Helps with your Q, etc., etc.
You know what I would like to see? I would have liked to see Lucidity boots off of Hecarim.
Cooldown boots? Yeah, okay, I could see that.
That would have been another option, too.
But you're not getting any cooldown out of your build already.
Yeah, he's got 20, and that would have been 35. You would have been there.
You get 10% off your Iceborne, but yeah. That would have been good to have.
35, yeah.
You had some really nice ults. That one by Baron when you got the 4-man there.
Yep.
That was pretty sweet. You used that aggressively to make sure... Like, you saw opportunities and you took them, and you capitalized on those positioning errors with Hecarim, which is what you need to do. We didn't see too many early ganks out of you, I don't think. Did we? all seems so blurred together.
Uh,
I don't think we did. I think you just kind of farmed up and
yeah.
yeah, which is fine in Hack Realm. You can gank pretty well in Hack Realm when you have a knockback, but that's fine. You're doing other things on the map, getting ready for your Cinder Hulk. No other complaints really. Upgraded sweeper, nice, good job. Keeping up with the wards as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you bought a ward on every back, except like one when you just had enough for like Kindle Gem and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to see out of my junglers. If they're not building Sight Zone, I want to make sure I'm getting wards on all my backs, making sure I'm warding deep for my laners so they can see where their jungler is, or I can see where the jungler is so I can gank other lanes.
Mm-hmm. Lulu, I gotta talk about Lulu here for a minute.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so let's start with the breakdown here. Coin start. I'm not in hate with the coin start.
I hate coin start. I personally hate coin start, but
coin start's fine. Like if you're in a lane where you don't have kill pressure, like coin's okay. Especially when Talisman's kind of a priority here, which I agree with the Talisman mentality with Lulu. You need to protect your carries and you need to give them some mobility to get out of the way of Skarner, Volibear, Diana, and I think that Talisman does exactly what Lulu wanted to do. She doesn't need to do damage. Like in lane, the extra pressure is nice. But I don't think there's kill potential on Sivir Alistar. So while she might have sacrificed a little bit of gold income in the early part of that game, getting that Talisman a lot sooner, if this game were closer, was a better option, I think, overall. So like I said, I'm not in hate with it. Like you could go Spellthief and you'd get a lot of gold out of that. Because you are a ranged champion against a melee champion in Sivir, you could probably poke and harass quite a bit and add a lot of pressure there. But again, not in hate with that. What I'm not liking is the fact that you've got an upgraded blue trinket with ruby crystal. What? Okay, so well, that your building looks like a death cap. Again, what? All right, let's take a step back. Talisman's fine. Get upgraded sweeper. Upgraded sweeper is super useful. Like even if like you've got like let's say the rest of the team bought sweepers, I would say if you would make an alternative, I'd say upgraded pink totem, so you could just have pink wards on demand. Ruby Crystal is kind of useless because you're placing a lot of wards, don't get me wrong, it's great. But you're paying like 800 gold for an extra ward charge and a little bit extra health. And that 800 gold can go straight into an Aegis of the Legion. It could have gone to another item of support use like a Mikhail's, which I definitely would have liked to have seen a Mikhail's. I think that would have been useful. Or just some other item like an Aegis. Again, Aegis is kind of useful against Diana and the intermittent magic damage Volibear does. Like, your build's kind of greedy. Like, you're going in a death cap. It gives you better ults, but there are other items you can build to kind of support your team. And Rabadon's the big buy. And your support, like, even like with your assist count as it is, you couldn't even complete the Rabadon's death cap. So, build other sort of support-centric items. Like,
Zeke's Herald.
Zeke's Herald's kind of like the first thing that comes to mind is like Zeke's Herald. It's super cheap. It's like 1,400 or it's like 1,900 gold. And it gives you everything that you want. It gives you a little bit of CDR, gives you some mana. So you've got mana regen, or you've got a bigger mana pool to work with. And then you can kind of supercharge Anivia, Riven, or Jinx. Pick one. And give them crit or extra AP or whatever you want. You got to build kind of support items in that support budget. And those completes help out a lot more in that game. Like, Rabadon's is super expensive. You're not even done building it. So try and change up your item builds a little bit more. And you'll probably see a lot better results too.
Yep. I second everything Kargan just ranted about. Jinx, if we can move on to that. Looks like you didn't have enough to get your trinket upgraded. That's fine. Not a big deal. Infinity Edge into Phantomancer is also pretty good on. Is always very good on Jinx. Having higher crit chance on your long range rockets is great. Looks like you're building the Last Whisper, correctly seeing the incoming armor from Alistar, Skarner, that's starting to come in. Overall, your play, I thought you played well for the most part. A couple positioning errors you can work on. Rockets. Gotta hit those rockets. There's one really good dodge by Diana mid lane, but a couple of them you're just wide by a fair margin. Just work. It's just basic skill shot, lining up, predicting, and just identifying how how fast they're moving, so you can go all Vel'Koz and geometry that, and make sure you're landing those. Because if Jinx misses a rocket on a low health target, that's actually a pretty big misplay. Because not only do you not get the reset, so you can clean up the rest of the fight, that person lives. They could even come back and CC you down a little bit more, and maybe turn the fight. So just try and work on that a little bit. I don't have too many qualms outside of that.
I try and use your W to kind of lead them in a direction, or if it does land, then you can just rocket them in the face. And like at worst case scenario, like they have the burn a summoner spell to get out of the way of the rocket.
Yeah.
If you want a rocket, you have to commit at that moment. Don't hesitate. Just like go rocket now, and aim it and just let it rip.
Be more impulsive as Jinx. Just shoot him.
Sure. That seems fair.
All
right.
And I think that's gonna wrap it up.
All right, boys, we did it. That's 3 games. That was Bronze Bootcamp. As always, guys, the reset sheet for Bronze Bootcamp will be reset, so I would say give it about a day before you guys reset it.
Signing up again.
But there's a link for it. Go ahead and bookmark that. That way you can just go ahead and check it. We'll be doing this again next Saturday. And if anybody out there is wanting to play, and let's say you're Silver 4 and above, maybe around Gold area, we do have the Battle Arena. That's going to be on. That has its own little sign-up sheet. Just go to tradingforcepodcast.com. Get signed up and join in on the games, have a little bit of fun, learn a couple things.
Yep. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and stay safe out in the Rift, guys.
Bye.